All right, let's get back to reviewing movies. I'm back home. It's time to review. Let's get to Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. I already watched the next movie in the series that I'm reviewing after this, but I'm going to keep that secret for now. But it is one of 7, so that's a little hint. There's 7 films in the series, and I will be reviewing that later tonight. Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort, yet another film with last or final in the title. Although as of now, this is the last one. 7 fell through. I followed that project for a while, and I don't know. So I hope that it happens. I hope that they can make it, really fun and gory like these previous efforts, just better, hopefully. Wrong Turn 6, I know a lot of people are like, I fucking hate 6 and 5 and pretty much anything since 3. I don't know. This is just as good as pretty much all the sequels to me. 4 has been my favorite. 4 is my favorite sequel, and that's hilarious to me because when I went into this, I remember really enjoying 1. I remember liking 2, 3, 5, and 6, and not liking 4. And here I rewatch it, and I was like, whatever with 2, 3, 5, and 6, and 4, I was like, yeah, that was fun. So weird how rewatches and different frames of mind and whatever, watching them all in a row, or it's weird how that can change your opinion so much. So that's why I'm enjoying rewatching all this shit, because I get to see them in a different light, because you can look through past quotes that I've made in horror pages for years, and I've always said, like, 4 is garbage, the rest are fun, and now I'm here to say that I was wrong for myself, and I feel almost the opposite. I didn't hate any of them. There was fun to be had in all of these. So let's get into the fun and the negatives. Yet again, another opening sex scene with gratuitous nudity. Always a good thing. I always have to wonder, though, I laugh when I watch these movies, because when there's a hot naked chick and the killer comes up and kills them, I'm always just like, who wants to kill beautiful naked women? You must really be a psychopath if you want to rid the world of something so perfect. So, good gore, bad CGI enhancements, or CGI in general. That's the problem with every single one of these besides 1. Every sequel suffers from that same problem. So, I don't know. I feel like at this point I was just kind of like, to be expected. And it was. And it did it. Makeup, as I said throughout all of these, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And here is no exception. This is the worst that the inbred hillbillies ever looked. They look terrible in this. Now, it was the main character. I like that they tried to change this story up a little bit and make it more like about a the guy who's coming home to inherit this sanitarium that's been turned into like a getaway. Made me wonder if it was the one from part 4, but I don't think it is. It should have been if it wasn't. I didn't see the connection, but it might have been there. But that would make the most sense, obviously. How they would have had it for generations, who knows? But these stories don't ever really make all that much sense anyways. But I did like the change of pace and a little bit of the change of the story. So it wasn't something I hated. It was something that was like, oh, that's cool. His friends, especially the chick, the friend, I can't remember her name in this, but she's such a bitch, and she's like, we're staying here, and it's like this huge nice resort, and then she's like, the other friend's like, well, I suggest that we just knock the whole fucking thing down and just start from scratch. And it's like, or just fix this place up nicer. Like, his friends are morons. Another there's plenty of kills in this that defy, the laws of physics There's another one where a woman is standing in a hallway and a hatchet's thrown down the hallway and it picks the woman up off the ground and sticks her into the wall with her feet hanging down. Not only would it not be able to pick her up off the ground, but sticking into the wall, the blade's not long enough, it doesn't have enough weight. Like, of course this is stupid, silly, who cares, it's fun. But whenever I see it, I always have to laugh. Even Halloween, when he sticks Bob up on the door, it's like, that's not possible. You can't do that. The fucking knife would not support the weight. But it you know, if it works, it works. But this is like CGI and it looks stupid, so obviously stuck out a little bit much more to me. The acting in this is better than part 5. I put it on par with like part 4, which is like, it's okay. Some of the characters are bad, like his family members, Jackson and Sally. Oh my God, Sally, and they're such bad actors. Fuck, it was hard. It was like taking a couple characters out of 5 and putting them into 4. Like that level of, you know, the ranges. Now, is there any good acting in this movie? Not really, but it's better than 5 by a long shot besides these characters. I like that, you know, this is his family. So basically what they're saying is that if you're a part of this family, you're inherently crazy. And, you know, they show that he has slash marks on his wrists from, you know, previous suicide attempts, and that he's been on medication in and out of psych wards. And, you know, it's like the medication is keeping his insanity at bay. And then when he finds out about his legacy, he like stops taking the meds, and then it like makes him himself, and like who he is by nature is a crazy person. So I thought that was a cool little way to explore that. You know, we get the 3 back here, Sawtooth and Three Finger and whatever the other dude's name is. Yet again, where this takes place, they die in 1, and fucking Three Finger doesn't, but the other 2 die. So this takes place after 4 and before 1, but after 5. Like the timelines in this, because of them being alive, is like, okay, I don't know, but does it really matter? No, but I always laugh when I'm watching these. I was laughing while watching these because the timelines just don't seem to matter at all, and characters die, but then they come back. It's like a Kenny South Park situation here. The girl, the friend, not the girlfriend, but the other friend, she sees these like priceless antiques, so she's like, oh, they're like $2,000 a piece, and they're like these fragile glass, you know, figurines. And she's just like, and the boyfriend's like, all right, well, we better take more. And she's like, yeah, now we're talking. And she grabs these like super fragile things and is like shoving them in her purse, like smacking together against each other. And it's like, you can't even fucking rob this place well. You guys suck so much. The best kill in this movie for sure is the fire hose up the asshole and his belly exploding. What a horrendous death. And talk about the super colonic from hell. That kill made me laugh out loud. And then at the very end, you know, this main guy tells his girlfriend like to get the fuck out of here, because she burns the blonde's face that he wants to fuck his sister, I guess, or whatever she is. And he tells his girlfriend like, get out of here. And she like tries to make a run for the door, but then Jackson grabs a hold of her, so she like turns around and defends herself and beats his ass and kills him. And then he comes over and kills her because she hurt his family. And it's like, you didn't think Jackson was going to grab him? It happens so fast and within such a short distance that you're like, you didn't think to like hold him back. You thought that he wasn't going to go after her, and you didn't think she was going to, I mean, I guess he's crazy at this point, but it was hilarious. Like he's like, run, just go, and like giving her that like, I'm gonna let you go, get out of here. You would think he would then turn around and like hold that guy back, but he doesn't, and the guy literally just jumps on top of her in like a 5-foot distance. And then she turns around, defends herself, and then he kills her for her defending herself. It all happens in like 20 seconds. It's a ludicrous scene. I did like that he gave into it, and you know he was going to be part of this family, and he was going to impregnate her and keep the family going. One thing that was kind of odd here and was a downer for the film was the three antagonists of the series, basically, especially with Three Finger being in all of them. They're almost not in this. They're so rarely in this. I mean, they must have 5 to 7 minutes of screen time in this hour-and-a-half movie. So in these later efforts of long-running slasher sequels, you usually get the opposite. Like if you take like a Halloween or something where like Michael's only in it for like maybe 5-7 minutes cumulatively in the first one, in the second one, because he's already been established and the monster's already been given to you, they usually start to make more and more screen time as to where like, you know, you get into the Friday the 13th and Jason becomes the main focus of the film. That's what people are going for because they identify with that character. He's already killed everyone off. In these horror movies, you don't usually have a lot of returning characters, so the emphasis is more on the killer. And that's kind of how this series was going. You were getting a lot more of the killers like you usually do, but in this one they toned it way back down, and this almost felt like a first film in a series where those were just small characters, and then they brought these family members and they made them the main antagonists. And it's like, this is not the time to be throwing in new villains and giving them the majority of the screen time. Like, people are coming to the Wrong Turn franchise at this point to see these villains that they're familiar with. So I thought that was an odd choice, and I do think it hurt the film. Because if the new villains they had introduced, Jackson and Sally, were good actors and had a good role in this, and it was, you know, appealing, I think it may have worked. But because they were awful, it hurt the film dramatically. So I think that might be why people seem to hate this one more than the others. This seems to be the most hated of them, and I'm guessing that's probably why. But anyway, I did like the scene where they took him out hunting, and like they kind of had like match cuts of like them going back and forth between like Three Finger hunting for the cop and him hunting for the deer, and just kind of seeing that, you know, family lineage and the difference between the hunt and what's in people. And that was a cool scene. But that's it. Done with the Wrong Turn series. Moving on to the next one. All right, guys. Until then.